Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. Samantha and I are back today, and we are so grateful to be here with you. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Erica. It is always a pleasure. I say it every time. Always a pleasure to jump on with
It
you.
so is. I love our Tuesdays
Mm.
together, and we both love being with you also so much. And today, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, well, it actually ties into what we're going to talk about today in this weird way that my mind works. But but anyway, I want to thank one of our very special listeners, Emma Gold from England. She just made this most beautiful necklace and she posted it on Facebook. And the minute I saw it, I was like, that's mine. That was made for me because I had actually seen this necklace in my mind in meditation, that I needed a necklace just like this. And so when she posted it, I was like, oh my God, there's my necklace. And so I bought it and she sent it to me and I'm so in love with it. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so, so much. And you guys, her jewelry is so beautiful. So check her out. She's on our Positive Head Facebook group. So you can find her there. And so here's what's cool. And this is what's tying into our show today because I'm a nerd. Okay. So I've been watching this show called Stargate SG-1. And one of the main, archetypes in the show, they're called Goulds. Goa'uld. There's an A in there. Emma's last name is spelt with Ould, so it's missing the A, but it's very, very close to this Goulds, right? And so these Goulds in the show are basically the Egyptian gods, right? So like Ra, Osiris, any of them that you could possibly name. And this necklace that she made me is essentially from my connection to that bird tribe Ra kind of line. It has a blue jay feather and the moonstone. It's so beautiful. And so I wanted to talk about lots of things today, really. But the coolest thing that I see when I watch this show is how much truth there is in it, right? And how much of our history that we know of that isn't quite what it actually was. You know, like
Mm.
in this show, these gods are depicted as like evil, just like terrible, terrible beings that want to destroy the earth. And that's the opposite of really what history, well, I don't know what history says about it, but that's the opposite of what it actually was. They are, A, not gods. They never wanted it to appear as gods. They are essentially our higher aspects that are looking back on themselves as this in this dimension and helping us to move forward because all time exists now, right? And so helping each other grow, helping us all get back to the one. And
Mm.
I love that idea better than, out to destroy us, right? It makes a whole lot more sense. But
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, just lots of really interesting history in this show. One of the things that's really stuck with me is I see a lot of things in this show that I've seen in my sessions, like my own QHHT sessions when I go into trance and when I have different experiences. I've literally seen the same things. And this show was created in like 2000, the early 2000s. So
Oh,
it blows
wow.
me away. Yeah. So much truth. So I'm wondering, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but there's like 10 seasons. There's there's so many shows. Um, Go watch it and see if there's anything in there that resonates with you because we all have these memories. Right, Samantha? I know you have Egyptian memories, don't you?
Not so much Egyptian for me. One of our listeners, one of our positive head guests, she came to the retreats and she watches and listens to every episode. Her name's Charlotte. She's also in England. She has really strong Egyptian roots, and she even looks like an Egyptian pharaoh princess,
Mm,
and so that's really powerful. For me, I have very strong Viking warrior princess type of memories where I was always a woman in every past life I've ever seen, and I'm always at war.
interesting.
So yeah, and so I'm always at war. There's always some kind of, I can see myself with these like feathers and these medals and like sword and shield and this, like, fighting maiden. Either I'm fighting on horse or back. I have a memory back a long time ago of fighting on elephants, going to
Mm,
war on elephants, and I didn't even know that was a thing until I researched Viking history, and it is a thing. And yeah, but I have these very clear themes in all of the past life memories. And through doing QHHT as well, the one time I did it, I was able to access some of these previous life memories. And
mm,
yeah, it's been very, very unique and very powerful to have these flashbacks and these feelings, not even just in like a psychedelic state or in QHHT state, but even in waking life, these
right.
like little flashbacks and little feelings and remembrances.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is too, because we are ourselves throughout this entire continuum. And our consciousness is all that we are, right? And so that is retained. And it's just veiled in this life, so we don't remember it all, and that's why we get so confused. But we do have these memories within us. And these moments in our life when we have those resonances with things, or things are affecting us deeply, or we're really attracted to a certain thing, right? That's because that's within you. And you're remembering parts of you, parts of your past. And that's why I love to watch shows like this because they encourage the remembrance, right? And also for me, it encourages the affirmation and the validity. And I think that some people might think otherwise, right? That, oh, you just saw that in a movie, right? So then you're just making it up. No, it's actually quite the opposite. So here's how that works. There is nothing that can be like created that doesn't actually exist, right? It has to, if it's a part of consciousness, then it exists somewhere, right? That just makes sense to me. And they even said this on the Stargate show the other day. They were basically, there was this human who remembered his alien life, and they were trying to prevent him from that memory, and they were giving him drugs that would suppress that memory. But he remembered anyway, right? So he goes on, and years later, they find that he's doing this television show that is essentially all about the Stargate. And of course, it's this secret government program. They don't want anybody to know about it, but he's doing this huge show. So they're watching it, and they're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And gets on the phone with the president, comes back, and he says, well, we're going to let this go because if this ever does come out in the future, we can just look to the show and say, oh, yeah, they just made that up. Right? So it yeah. So it actually
Yeah.
works that way. And these things that we see in these shows are actually these soft disclosures telling us, "Hey, this is what's really going on. You're not making it up." And truth and reality is just way stranger than fiction. Way, way stranger. And I see that in my work all the time. So for me, I can say this with such seriousness because I know it to be true because I see it every day, you know? I'm
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
making it up or it's like a, opinion. No, it's like I see it every single day, the same stories from different people, so
Yeah, and
Really cool.
you can't make that up, right? When
Yeah.
it just becomes fact when you see it over and over and over and over again. It's funny though that you say that the word strange, like that it's so strange. And I for me this just triggered the memory not so long ago my partner got me to watch one of the Avengers movies called Doctor Strange.
Love it.
And he's not really into what we're into about portals and moving the space-time continuum and like tapping into the quantum field, and I think a lot of people don't really know what that is, and they hear it for the first time in these movies being like, okay, that's like crazy. But really, coming from somebody who knows a lot about the esoteric and magic and working with different energetic portals and whatnot and timelines, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, this is mainstream. Like
Yeah. They're
this is
telling
on
everyone? Yeah.
mainstream. Yeah, they're telling everyone, but it works in two ways. One, it's a remembrance.
Mhm.
However, in the other way, it also people use it in a way to nullify it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, there's no such thing as quantum fields. That was just what Doctor Strange was talking
Right.
about, and
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
it's funny how it can go both ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the Marvel movies, there's some of the Netflix series that I've watched on that because my partner Brian is really into Marvel. And so he's gotten me into it, and yeah, I think they're pretty cool, but there's some of them that are quite gory and violent, and yeah, I don't love that so much. Um but some of those ideas that I've seen in those shows, I've actually had people tell me in sessions. And I'm like, "Whoa." Like, that's the stuff that blows me away, the stuff that I'm not comfortable watching, to find out that that actually is actually happening, you know? Um,
Mm,
so yeah, it's not always unicorns and rainbows out there, there's lots of amazing things, and yeah, a lot of the awful things that you see in some of these shows are actually happening, and so I feel like the awareness to that is also important to note that when you're watching these things, like, "Oh, this could be real," right? Like, it's
yeah.
nice to have an awareness of that. Yeah.
Mm.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become. Which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So, if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key.
And another thing I wanna say about the whole, like, "You're making this up," or, "Oh, you just read that in a book," or, "You saw it in a movie," because often that's where our conscious mind goes, "Oh, that's just it." No. It works the other way where your higher self has put this book or this movie or that person in front of you to say that thing to you because they want you to remember. And so they're showing it to you in so many different ways. And then our conscious mind comes in and says, "No, I'm just making that up." And your higher self is up there wanting to like smack you around a little bit and be like, "No, I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to tell you again and again and again."
Yeah, that's the thing. I so hear this, and I feel like everything there gets to be a balance, and it's important to find a balance because I've worked with some people who are completely not grounded at all. Their crown chakra is so open, but they're so not connected to earth, and everything is a symbol. Everything is a sign. Like every single thing, and it becomes overwhelming. Like you become a little bit mad when you're seeing so through the veil and so through the matrix, and it's like challenging to function in the 3D or 5D whatever reality you're in, um, because there's just a lack of connection to everyday life without everything being blown up in your mind of the meaning and the synchronicity. And so I do feel that it's important to open up those portals and open up your mind in that way if that's something that you're interested in, and also practicing like remembering that you're a human
Yeah,
and
very
connecting to the
important.
earth and like coming back into your body.
Yeah, yeah, it's important to remember that because the only reason that you're getting these signs and symbols is because there's a lesson that needs to be learned. And you're here as a human trying to learn that. And so that's what you're here to do, right? And so use those as signposts or breadcrumbs to point you in that direction towards your soul's evolution. And yeah, balancing that out and bringing it down to earth is what we're here doing. Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause it's fun though. It's definitely fun to make those connections between names or between
So fun.
number, the thread. Or I used to ask, all right, if I'm on my path, send me a feather.
Yeah.
And I would see feathers everywhere in the weirdest places. Or I was like, okay, now I want to see owls. And I would see pictures of owls everywhere, or an owl flying by, or people wearing a shirt with an owl, and it just kept coming up. And it's so fun when you play with the universe intentionally like this, and you ask to see things, and you notice the patterns being interwoven into the fabric of our reality because they are here guiding us.
And isn't that so nice to know too that you can ask for those things and then those things show up? That tells you a couple things. One, look how great and powerful you are. And two, look how guided and protected you are and that you always have help, right? All of us have these experiences. So we can look at it in that way and really just, wow, it's so magical when we can really like know that, understand that. It's a game changer in life,
It
right?
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Reconnecting to the magic.
Oh god, it's so huge because it's all around us all the time, and it's just a matter of perspective.
Mm.
I get this in sessions all the time too, where the higher self is saying to the client, and I always talk about this because since I'm constantly hearing higher self perspective, I want to share that because it's so much grander than our human perspective, you know? And so it's like I'll listen to them all day. Um, but they're always saying that you always have a choice in any given situation to look at the positive perspective of it or to drown in the negative perspective of it. There's always a
Yeah.
choice, you know? And that's the beautiful, magical thing about this life because we can always make that choice to see the positive in it and see how we're growing.
Mm. Yeah, and when we're wired to see the
Yeah,
negative or conditioned to see the
yeah,
negative, that's just the standard. Yeah, it's going to be a little hard at first. It
totally.
does, feel uncomfortable, and it does take reminding and like daily intention. And it is work, it is a
Hmm.
practice. And it gets so much easier, right? With a
Yes.
little bit of intention, a little bit, maybe setting out affirmation or putting a reminder on your phone, like, how can I see the golden lining in every situation? Your body will naturally create new neurochemicals, new synapses, new connections in the brain, new feelings, new thoughts, new behaviors, and new you.
Yeah.
And that's what's available.
Yeah, yeah, and it does take that daily practice to really retrain the program, and and also, like, a lot of people come to me for this reason, is that they have the negative program running and they don't know how to stop it, and the reason why that negative program is going in the first place is because of fear, because they're afraid of getting hurt or something along that nature, or they're feeling guilty or shameful, or there's something that a story that they're telling themselves. And their higher self is always, always telling them how amazing that they are, and they're always okay. That all the things that they've been through in their life, all the traumatic things, look at this and look at you. You're all right. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, it was hard, but you're okay. And if it happens again, what will happen? You're going to be all right because you're all right. You're always right. We are here with you and you got this. And that is true
Mm.
for every single one of us. And sometimes they take people back to show them a life where they've really had it hard, like really hard, hundreds and thousands of years ago. It was way harder, right? And to see, like, look what you've already been through. If you can do this, you can do anything. You got this, right? And you're okay. You will always be okay. You're always being held.
Mm.
That's such a big understanding. You're always being held.
That's such a beautiful thing. If we can only remember that and only take that in, that everything is always okay and you truly are being held and it's all right and the universe is supporting you, we can really anchor in a different frequency, which really changes the entire game because there's only two true energies to live through, and that's love or fear. And fear doesn't feel that good, and so choosing love, choosing to trust, and choosing to be embodied in that knowledge that we are being taken care of, it absolutely makes things magical and connects us to the truth of who we really are.
Totally. And who we really are is that multi-dimensional being that exists on all levels, right? And so there is an aspect of you that totally gets this, already understands it, and is living it right now. And that aspect is helping you. It is you.
Hmm.
And
Aho.
that is where we come back to these ancient gods. They are us. That's all it is. It is us helping us. So thank you, Emma, for bringing this topic to my mind today. And thank you, Samantha, so, so much for having this conversation and what's the word I'm looking for? Entertaining it with me.
Anytime. It is, again, always a pleasure just going into little rabbit holes with you, getting lost, having fun, playing around,
I
coming out
love
with a
the rabbit
smile.
hole. I love the rabbit hole. I could do the rabbit hole all day. So this was so fun. We love you all. We're going to leave you with a song for today. And I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased that I found a song to go along with our Stargate theme today, which is Geometry, Blue Star Spiral, which is exactly what a Stargate looks like. Until next time, love you all.
We love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.